This absolutely colorful, delicious and gorgeous stir fry is one of my favorite to make. I love it, and I feel like this is the one time that I really listened when they said eat the rainbow. I love the gorgeous colors of this, the spicy notes in here, and the fragrance, the aroma, the taste, everything here is just unbelievable. I hope you are able to try this one. I know for sure if you're a veggie lover, you're going to love this. So here are the ingredients you are going to need. Very beautiful, right? And as always, I'll list everything for you in their rightful quantities in the description box. So we are going to start off by cutting our garlic. I'm just trying to chop it roughly. If you don't like to bite in your garlic, you can mince it or grate it, but I like it this way. I also have here some celery stalks. Everything has been washed already. I'm going to cut it just like so and set it aside. I have my carrots here. I've recently got this veggie cutter, and so I've been using it a lot to make fancy shapes like this style cuts. You can definitely cut it any way you want, just in the same orientation, maybe without this tool, and it's still gonna be perfect. Let's cut our broccoli as well. I like to buy a whole head of broccoli. I don't just like to buy the crown, because I like to cut up some of the stalk just like this. Not everything, but a good amount of that, just like that. I'm also going to add some bell peppers to it. The goal in this is to just use vegetables that you like, different colors, different textures. It's just beautiful, gorgeous. You know, you want your food to just pop, and not just pop, but you are trying to get a lot of nutrition from the various kinds of vegetables that you have, vitamins and all the good stuff that you get from having a good variety of fruits and vegetables in your meal. I love to add onions in my stir fry, so I'm going to add this medium onion. I like red for the color, so I'm using a red onion, and once I'm done cutting up, I like to just flick it up like this so it is well spread out in my stir fry. When it's done, I'm going to cut up a whole head of cabbage. Just cut around it and leave out the core. I like to cut it into big chunks just so that the cabbage still has a little bit of crunch and texture to it when everything else is cooked. I love the extra flavor that some herbs bring into my stir fry, and normally I'll use some parsley and coriander or cilantro, and these actually came from my garden, so all the better. Everything is cut up and set, and now we are going to start our actual stir fry. Let's do this. I was recently gifted this bottle of olive oil, and another one just the regular extra virgin olive oil. This is the robust, so it is very intense, less processed. Is just amazing, and I've been using it a lot. So to my oil, I'm adding my garlic. Yes, that's a lot of garlic. I like garlic. Use more or less depending on how much of it you like, and I'm just going to let it cook here a little bit, constantly stirring so the aromas and fragrance just infuse in here and make my oil even more special. I'm going to add my celery now. I love celery, and like I said, this is a stir fry that you get to choose whatever vegetables you want. You know, that's what a stir fry is all about. You want to put the vegetables that you actually like and will eat, and not just let it sit in the fridge and go bad. The key to having your vegetables absolutely delicious, perfectly seasoned, and something that you will truly enjoy is for you to season as you go. So at this point, I've added some salt. I'm also cracking here some black peppercorns. You can definitely use already cracked peppers. It's just as good. And I think I'm going to add just a little bit more. Just about this much is good. I'm going to stir this, allow this to cook so the flavors just mingle with each other and just infuse into one another, and that way I can assure you your stir fry is going to be perfect. It is going to be delicious. You will love it, and so will anybody that you serve it to. At this point, I'm going to also add in my broccoli. So in here it goes. I'm going to stir this, give it a little bit of a time or chance to cook before I add anything else. And one other goal that you have to have in mind when you're making a stir fry is you put the harder ingredients, the ones that will take a little bit more time to cook, in here, and then the ones that you just want them to just sweat up a little bit towards the end. That way you have a perfect texture of all your vegetables. They are almost all cooked at the same point, I mean the same texture, so you don't have some getting mushy and some getting crunchy or uncooked. So the broccoli has cooked for about a minute, just sauteing, stirring it. As you can see, it has gotten a little bit of gloss to it, and I've added in here my peppers. I also enjoy my stir fries when it has a little bit of spicy notes to it, so I would normally add a little bit of chili flakes. I'm going to do that right now. You can leave that out, add more or less, all depending on how spicy you want this to be. So give this a stir, and of course this is one extra layer of seasoning, flavoring that you are adding into your stir fry, and you want to just strategize this to give you the optimum taste in your stir fry. So I've allowed this to cook, stirring on and off for about a whole minute. You can see that the broccoli is beginning to look a little bit wet or glossy. So that is perfect timing for me to add in my cabbage now. And I'm going to add all of it. Yes, that's a big heap. And so everything is in here, and I realize it's going to be very tricky for me to stir this, which is just fine. So you don't want to sweat it. You don't want to stress yourself. Stirring a heap pan like this is going to have you ending up just getting a lot of your ingredients falling off, and you want everything in here. So I'm going to just cover this, let the steam just help me with the process. It's going to help the cabbage especially to wilt, and it's going to be so easy for me to stir it. So I covered for about a minute and a half, and as you can see, it went down all on its own. The cabbage has softened up and wilted just a little bit, and it's also allowed all the other ingredients that it came to meet, especially the broccoli, to soften up as well. And this is how you want your stir fry. You don't want to cover it for too long. You don't want to cook it for too long, because anyway, for me, I like my stir fries to still have a little bit of crunch and texture to it. If you want it all the way soft, then definitely go that way, but for me this is perfect, and especially for the fact that I'm meal prepping, so I'm going to end up having to save some, and I want this to have its crunch and texture every time I take a little portion of it and warm it. So I've added my onions and my herbs in here now. The fragrance that you're having in here is just unbelievable. You want to be healthy, but you want to eat your healthy food and truly enjoy it. And this recipe, I can assure you, you will love this. And so family, I present to you the rainbow. You can have it with anything. You can have it just with your protein, just on its own. For us, we had it with this jollof. It was so good. Thanks for watching. Please like and share this video. And until I come your way next time with something delicious, be loving, be kind, be happy.